Okay, so first of all, I got a buzz, which is pretty cool. Um, and second of all, I wanted this to be more of like an introspective kind of video because I feel like that's the direction I want to grow in. So I hope what I say you find relatable to some extent. So I woke up this morning really, really tired, and I was feeling quite shitty. So when I got to school, I already felt quite shitty. I was tired. I wanted to sleep. I couldn't because I had to um, do some homework that I didn't have time to do the night before. So yeah, and after I did this homework, I decided that instead of sleeping, I would use that time productively and journal. That's the first page, and this is the second. So I wrote quite a fair bit, and this morning I wrote, I've lost motivation because at that time in the morning, I didn't feel like doing shit. I didn't feel like doing the shit I would do today. And the second thing is that I was feeling quite depressed. And one thing that I haven't shared here is um, because it's quite personal. It's actually very personal, and I don't really feel comfortable speaking about it. Is that um, I feel really down, sad when I think about my ex. Um, and if my personal friends, close friends, are watching this, um, you know who it is, and I'm gonna be completely honest in this video. So whenever I think about her, and I think about her, for example, going and kissing other guys, pulling other guys, I get that like gut wrenching feeling. You know what I'm talking about, the one that makes your heart go do do, and you feel sick and just not nice. And I think about her at least once per day, if not throughout the whole day. Um, and after I came to this realization, like I wrote it down and it was looking at me, so I said, why is that? I wanted to kind of break this apart, and I wrote this in 20 minutes, so I didn't really get to the bottom of why, but I think I made some good progress. And so I started to brainstorm, right? So she was and still is my first love, right? She was the first person that I had a deep human connection with. And I could tell her things and express my emotions and how I'm really feeling, and she'd still love me. And that was really refreshing, to just be able to be yourself, and be comfortable in doing so with another person. It was a beautiful feeling, and I'm so glad I got to experience it. But unfortunately, we got together when I was really depressed, like really, really depressed. Like I was here, so going down, and then it was gradual, and then when I got with her, kind of just went like that, like straight down, like I got shit. And as my depression got worse, and I didn't address it, and I didn't hop on antidepressants, I didn't go to therapy, so it got worse, and I pushed her away because it got to a point where I was suicidal every single day. I literally couldn't love myself. So I didn't have the capacity to love another person, and it was such conflicting feelings because I knew I loved her, but I couldn't muster up the feelings. So for better or for worse, I was completely honest with her about my feelings, and eventually that really affected her, and it pushed her away completely. So while I'm not happy that it's completely over, I think it was necessary for my benefit and for hers, definitely for her. She needed it. She needed to just get out away from me, and that's fair because I was a ticking time bomb basically. I was just getting worse every single day. And so yeah. So she broke up with me and she said she'd wait for me to get better. And at that time, thinking about being in a relationship, having to have that commitment, even in the future, was so scary because I didn't know that in the future I would be better. And to have someone waiting for you is insane pressure. Like I can't I can't even describe the words to it. It was horrible. So I said, I told her honestly. I was completely honest with her the whole time. I didn't know if I wanted a relationship until like my 20s because I needed myself to be perfect, right? I was trying the best I could with whatever knowledge I had. You don't need to be perfect to be in a relationship, but that's what I thought I needed to be. So she moved on, I assume, and as time went on, I got better. I moved backwards because I realized that I came to terms with reality with the fact that I still loved her, and to an extent, I still love her now. Um, because we didn't really break up because of a loss of feelings. It was a loss of feelings, but not because there was any conflict really. It was I lost I lost feelings, like I lost feelings in general. I was pretty emotionless, I was really numb. So when I got them back, I don't like doesn't really make sense, but once I got my emotions back, the love was still there. And now, it would have been like 5 months since we broke up, and we went through a phase of friends with benefits, and then um, I don't know, it just fell through. So yeah, but I don't even know if I had the option, if I would go back to a relationship, because the connection was great. I felt great, but I'm seeking purpose, and to do that, I feel like I need to be by myself, and you might feel that as well. Do you ever feel like when you're trying to focus on your work, for example, in class, and people are just fucking around and you just want to be by yourself? I get that same feeling when I need to concentrate on myself, like you would concentrate on your work, like I would concentrate on my work. I just need to be away from people. So I'm not sure. I'm I'm really not sure, because one part of me really really hopes there's a chance that we get back together, which is very slim. But the other part says this is for the better. And I get that feeling, and I feel like that feeling is right. It is for the better. The pain I'm going through right now, it doesn't need to be this painful, and that's what I'm gonna get at. All right. So I felt, and currently, well, not currently, but this morning, I felt trapped for the reasons I listed. One part of me wanted to get back with her. Part of me didn't, and I imagine she's lost all feelings for me, and it would make me feel better if I knew she forced herself to move on and it wasn't just a simple process. But either way, I think she moved on. And I'm still in contact with her, and I get that sense that there's nothing there anymore. You know when you're talking to someone, you just get a certain type of vibe, whether it be, you know, indifference, hate. You even if it's through a typed message, and it is a bit of what's the word, placing biased opinions without context. I don't know, projecting. It could be projecting, and it probably is, but you know what I mean. So, but then I stopped writing, and then I went to class, and then I had a free period, and I took out my notebook again, and I thought back, and then I realized in this and all that I wrote, there is a sense of self pity. And when we broke up, she was, I wouldn't say mad, but I don't know. But there were words that stuck with me where she said, "You have a victim's mentality." And she is not wrong at all. And that was kind of a wake up call. And I need to realized that I'm looking through a lens of self pity. It's been so evident in my life, and it's been staring me straight in the face, but I choose to ignore it. And, it hasn't been so shit for my progress in life, but it's been there and it's definitely hindered my progress. And you probably have something, some negative quality that is there in every single day, and that's why you don't notice it. You don't see anything out of the ordinary. I want you to take a notebook and decide what's plaguing you the most, because there's always something. There's something there that you just, it doesn't sit right with you. Say, why doesn't it sit right with me? Read what you said, and what kind of lens were you looking out of when you wrote this? Because this was of self pity. I won't lie. It was all, oh, she left me. I was so sad. Blah, 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 blah. It's my fault. It's my fault. That's, you're admitting you're at fault, but it's pitying yourself that you were at fault. Like there was nothing you could do, nothing that I could do. And a sense of self pity is never good, because at the end of the day, it was me who ruined it. So why am I? It's like having pity for the murderer instead of the victim. It's like it doesn't make sense, right? And I think I have an innate desire to be loved and appreciated, and like that's obvious because we all do. But I get a sense, and again, this is self pity, that I do not get that from my peers and people close to me. And she was the one person I felt like gave me that. Now, again, I'm going to say this again. This is self pity because I am loved and appreciated by my friends. Otherwise, they would not be my friends. You have to realize that any negative emotions, 9 out of 10 times, any deep down, those lingering feelings that you don't want to say or you don't want to bring up, oh, they hate me. There's something there that's not right. You have a biased view for whatever reason, and you need to expose it by writing it down. So, okay, now where was I? Oh yeah, and I felt like I was a side character in everyone's lives. And I wrote here afterwards, it isn't far off because we're all side characters in our lives, in each other's lives, right? We all think we're the main character, so everyone else is a side character. That's just human nature, right? You are the most important person in your life. It's just how it is. So these feelings might not be entirely valid, but at the end of the day, I pretty much know myself by now. Like I've done this kind of introspective work quite a fair bit, so I know myself at slightly deeper than surface level. I'm nowhere near the bottom, but the roots are in. I can look slightly deeper. So I know for a fact that I find comfort in my own pain, and most likely so do you. And what I mean by that is we like to wallow because it gives us an excuse to not try to get rid of this pain, to not put in the effort to get better. It's weird how wallowing in depression could be both so detrimental but comforting at the same time from experience. And I can't really explain why, but I know it's true because I've experienced it. At least for me, I can't speak for you. But if you relate to this, let me know, and then I have solid proof. So wallowing in your own pain is self-induced pain for the sake of pain avoidance, which is really paradoxical, right? You're putting yourself in pain to avoid pain. But you know how I said there's different types of discomfort? There's different types of pain. And when I was wallowing in my depression and I didn't get better while I was with my ex, I wasn't getting better because I would rather feel the pain of being inadequate than face the pain and the processes and the feelings of getting better. It scared me less to sit where I was and wallow and become probably even worse than to face my challenge and get better. And that is most likely where you or someone that you know is sitting, right? It's it's weird how it works But if you think about why didn't you try out for the rugby team, for the football team? Because you were scared of failure. Let's just say, most likely. So you would rather sit in your own incompetence and your own sense of being subpar than face the challenge of getting better at football or rugby. You see what I'm getting at, and pain avoidance, yes, has plagued me my whole life, and I think that's why this is where it ends, and I think that's why I'm a people pleaser. I can't stand the thought of me disrespecting someone or offending someone, and then they get angry at me because yeah, I just I don't know. I'm scared. I'm scared of what they will think of me. And because I don't have a solid personality to fall back on, right? I'm gonna be honest, I currently don't have a real sense of self, and that's what I'm building right now. So when someone attacks me, I don't know what to fall back on. There's nothing concrete behind me other than my gym that I can fall back on. I have my work ethic. That's pretty much it. So, what I want you to do, and the take home message for this video is whenever you are feeling any negative emotion or you feel something you just don't feel right, sit down, write and analyze. I'm going to continue from where it was there. You need to understand yourself. Imagine yourself as another person that you're learning about. Practice empathy within yourself. Because if you can sit down with yourself and be interested in finding out your problems and solutions to these problems, you can do exactly the same with other people. I'm telling you now, learning about yourself is so much more boring than learning about other people. Because to some to actually I'd say the fullest extent, you think you know yourself. So when you try understand yourself further, you're like, I already know this. What's the point? You go in with a predisposition to boredom of disinterest. So if you can if you can conquer yourself, if you can understand yourself, you will have no problem understanding anyone else. Because 9 out of 10 times, you and the person next to you have the same deep rooted desires and the same deep rooted problems. Right? It might not be the same for everyone, but like I said, everyone is slightly narcissistic. You can use that. You can use that to understand other people and their motives. Because everyone's narcissistic. We all have ourselves at our core interests. That's just an example. So I did arm day today. I got a buzz. I I didn't eat breakfast. Fuck. Um, I'm about to go do extra physics. I'm not touching video games tonight, like I promised. And again, I was really lazy today. I didn't feel like swimming, so I swam 500 meters because that was the bare minimum. But I ended up swimming 700, I think 700, 750. I can't remember. I just pushed through and I said, no, I'm not settling for bare minimum. And I'm going on a cut tomorrow. And yeah, so life is good.